Sometimes it takes like someone, going through that and then coming out and being like, yo, child, you're gonna go through negativity. Because the Bible even says, and I love the Bible, it says in this world you will face trials and tribulations. You understand?
Letting go, yeah, it isn't easy. Two hearts slowly breaking, living the highs and lows, I'm keeping busy. Don't know if we're worth saving. Are we meant to be, or are we second guessing? Would you stay with me if the world was ending?
My soul got kicked in. I was like, what's good and welcome to it. My name is Solow and welcome to the SolowSays YouTube channel. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I hope that you're well wherever you are in the world, and thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me. But you already know how this goes. If you do like my vibe, please do subscribe and like and comment and all that good stuff, because the love that you send to me, I send right back at you. Yes, so yes ma'am. And if my angle is a little bit off today, I just want to come out and like get it out of there already. Is that if my angle is a bit off today and the lighting is a bit weird, I am working with like a new camera, so I don't know, and I can't see myself at the moment. So I'm just going by faith. I'm good, because like I don't even know if you could probably see here. I don't know, but I'm just gonna go with it, and I'm going to get rid of all the negativity, and I'm just going to deliver what I came to deliver. And on that note, yes, today's title, you can already see, it's dealing with negativity. So today I want to talk about toxicity, negativity, all that type of good stuff. So if you are maybe in a space where you're like, Solow, the people, the places, the things around me, it's just so toxic, it's just so hard, like why am I up against these things? Or I put out this content and this is how it gets responded to, or I just go on the internet, on the World Wide Web, and it's just so toxic. Like, how am I supposed to deal with all this negativity? Well, friend, you came to the right space, because today we are going to get into it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first note that I have about dealing with negativity is don't. No, I know you like, so what do you mean Solo? I just want to say, try to avoid it at all times. There's always going to be negativity in the world, and people are always going to come and want to try you. But if you in a position where you don't have to respond, I would say don't. Kevin Hart said in his interview with Joe Rogan, and I found that interview like so cool. So if you do want to go check it out, you should. It's Kevin Hart and Joe Rogan on his podcast and all that. You can also find it on YouTube. But he said it's cool being negative these days. You understand that in this time, in this space that we're in, people thrive off being negative. And I'm not speaking for everybody, because if you're watching this video, I hope and I pray that you are one of the good ones. You understand? But even if you are a person who sometimes you do have your negative energy, we are human at the end of the day. But also there are those people in this world who wake up saying, I wish someone would. They're in that constant energy of just wanting to be negative. And I grew up with a lot of negative people. Like, I've had a lot of negativity. Like, I know negativity. Like, I know negativity. And if I could go back and tell myself one thing about dealing with that negativity, is to not pay it no mind and just don't deal with it. But sometimes it takes like someone going through that and then coming out and being like, yo, child, you're gonna go through negativity. Because the Bible even says, and I love the Bible, it says in this world you will face trials and tribulations. You understand? But it's kind of like accepting that that's the way that it is, and negative and toxic people are always going to be on every corner, but it's how you deal with it. And if you don't have to deal with it, that's the best thing. But if you're like, okay, Solo, nah, child, like, yeah, that's cool, but I have to, because I deal with them at work, at school, at home, or whatever. Like, okay, so what's some solid advice? We need to accept that we all have opinions, but what other people's opinions are and what they think and everything doesn't always have to be what you accept. Sometimes, even like Kevin Hart was saying, like, you can just wake up, want to live your own life and go out there and just be like, hi, good morning. And so that, what? And it's like, whoa, dude, whoa, that was a lot of negative energy. And that's just the way it is, you understand? And you could say something just like, oh wow, I really like the store. They make the nicest cappuccinos or whatever. There's gonna be someone who's like, they make the worst cappuccinos ever. I hate the cappuccinos. But at the end of the day, like, that's their thing and it has nothing to do with you. And you should always remind yourself that it actually really has nothing to do with you. There's this quote, I actually should have started with it, but it comes from a yogi. I want to say his name, Banjan, if that's his name. And that's how you say it correctly, sorry. But he says, if you are willing to look at another person's behavior towards you as a reflection of the state of the relationship with themselves, rather than a statement about your value as a person, then you will, over a period of time, cease to react at all. And that is what it is. That the way that people treat you and the way that they carry themselves and the way that they go about conducting themselves in life is a reflection of how they have a relationship with themselves. That it took me some time to realize that some people are mean because they have mean spirits. Some people choose to be negative because they have negative mindsets and negative patterns, and it has nothing to do with me. And there was this boss that I had where I was working at this place. And I used to take a lot of things personally. I really used to take a lot of things personally, and it was like quite a negative space. And he'd wake up in a bad mood, and then everyone would be like in a bad mood, and he'd just project some things onto other people. And this one day he came into what I was doing, and he just went off on me. And yes, I might have not been doing something correctly, but I feel like the way that the manner was handled was a bit harsh. But afterwards, I wanted to cry, and I was deeply sad. And then he looked at me and was like, it's not always about you. And I'm so grateful for those words, because that was something that I was able to take with me into other situations and be like, you know what? It's not about me. It has nothing to do with me. And truly, he was saying it. He was saying stuff in a certain energy, but the message behind it was true. That sometimes people are just toxic and negative, and it has nothing to do with you. I also know most times we can make these examples, when you go to a party, right? And then you walk in, and then there's a whole bunch of people, I must say girls, because gents, I don't usually get that energy from gents, but usually girls, you go into a space and you just walking in, you maybe by yourself, and automatically there's this hostile negative energy that is projected towards you. And those people don't know you from a bar of soap. They never met you, sorry, I don't know that, I don't know that man, I don't know that girl, you understand? But automatically it's kind of hi, you have to look at that for what it is, that those people don't know you and they are projecting right now because they do not have good spirits. And I'm a very let's make everybody comfortable type of energy. But sometimes you come up against those people who are nah, we're gonna make it hard for you to be positive. We're gonna make it hard for you to have a good time, because not on our watch, So you need to also understand that the way that people respond to you and react to you has really nothing to do with you. Some people have to be negative, some people have to be judgmental, but you need to remember what truly matters to you. And after coming through all those trials and tribulations of negative people who came into my space, you understand, at the end of it, now when I encounter good situations and good people, I am so grateful, because I know what it's like to be surrounded by people who know nothing but toxicity, you understand? And even again, when in the future, when I am met, God forbid, but in this world we will face trials and tribulations. In the future, if I am met with people who are choosing to be negative to me, toxic to me, I then am reminded that no man, I'm not where I used to be. I've done the healing on myself. I'm so grateful for the people that are around me, who are positive and who are, constantly sharing their love and their light. So whatever you have to say, that's on you. You understand? Because now, because I've done the work and I understand how humans behave and certain projections and stuff like that, that at the end of the day, I do not know what's going on in your life. And if you are choosing to be someone who's going to be toxic right now, that's on you. It's a good thing to always ask when someone says something what energy are they coming in? If they are not coming in an energy of love, then you cannot accept it. Recently a friend of mine, she gave me some constructive criticism, and I was feeling that spirit, and I was like, that spirit is not a negative spirit. What she's saying is not toxic. Like, Solow, it was just like, yo, I saw something and I wanted to call it out, and I wanted to, tell you this thing. Don't take it in the wrong way. And I was able to accept that. And yes, something wasn't being said that was like, it wasn't negative or positive really, but something wasn't being said that I could rejoice about. But the way that she was telling me it came in a spirit that was of like positivity, so I was able to receive it. So a lot of the times people are going to come into your life and they're going to tell you this, that, and the third, but the energy that they're sharing such information with you is going to be quite toxic. And then you have to also pull yourself back and be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just keep doing me no matter what you've got going on, and you are not responsible for what people say to you and what people do, but you are responsible for how you react and how you respond. You understand? We cannot tell people, do not treat me mean, or do not, come at me like that. Obviously you can put boundaries and stuff like that. But if someone, you're riding down the road, you're cruising, and someone like you cut someone off by mistake in traffic, and that person whines on their window and you're like, hey, screw you. Like you there's nothing you can do about that. But it's like, are you going to go back and forth with the person? No, screw you, no, screw you, no, screw you. Like, you understand? And then it's going to become this whole like toxic interaction with an individual that you don't actually really know much about their life. They know nothing about your life. They could be going through a divorce, separation, or whatever toxic situations going on in their life, and in that moment they're projecting that all onto you. So it's good to then take a step back, because I think you are more aware. I'd like to assume that you are trying to become more aware of the way that you feel and you respond, and you're like, you know what, have a good day, I'm sorry, and have a good day. I think in also these situations it's very good to remain humble. That in a society, like Kevin Hart said, it's cool to be negative. It's cool to be the person that's like wants to share negativity. You see something, the person is like, this is terrible. You go on YouTube, you watch a video, maybe the person doesn't say something that aligns with your, frequency or what you constantly consume. So now you feel obligated to go into the comments and being like, you shouldn't have a channel, you shouldn't, I'm unsubscribing, thumbs down, like, instead of just being like, that's not for me, and moving on about your business. You understand? But in the society, it's kind of like told to us that we have to, call it out, cancel people and stuff like that. And I mean, you can cancel a person, but you don't have to do it loudly. You really don't have to do it loudly, because that's just like creating a whole cycle of karma, and what you sow, you will reap. So if you are negative to people, you're going to get negativity back. And it also kind of comes back to that thing of how you start your day is kind of like what you're going to get. If you start your day on a positive note, you understand, you're going to get positivity. Like, yes, there are going to be things that's going to happen. Maybe you're going to come across a person who's like in an angry mood, but it's kind of like aligning yourself with the frequency that is positive instead of negative. Continuously, you need to just keep doing you and doing what matters and doing your best. I am not licensed in any way, shape, or form in the things that I speak about, but I speak about them based on my own life experiences. But there's going to be someone who might come across me and be like, I don't like this girl, I don't know nothing about her, but I just don't like her. And that's okay, because like, I don't know everything, and I'm not all knowing, so I'm going to not be someone's cup of tea. But it's kind of like, I still have to just do me, because I came to live my own life and live it abundantly. So yes, not everyone's going to agree with everything that I have to say, but it's how I choose to respond, and this is something that I kind of battled with, because like growing up, like I'm a sensitive person, I don't think anybody likes negativity, and bad words that are spoken, it never gets easier unless you like a psychopath or something. I don't know, but it never gets easy. But it's how I choose to respond. That when someone now says to me, Solow, you loud, before that used to make me feel insecure, because I was like, now should I just be quiet, but now I'm just like, I am loud, and I'm sorry if it's making you feel some type of way, but if you would prefer me to be a bit softer, I don't mind, you understand? And humbling yourself. Because when you humble yourself, you humble or you bring down the energies. That sometimes I have met people who, they don't know me, but they just want to be mean, you understand? And the way to deflect that situation is to choose peace. Jesus said that if someone slaps you on the one cheek, turn to the other and let them slap you too, because it's kind of like you are fighting by yourself. And I think that's what gives us power, and that's what gives us, that understanding that some people just want to feed off negativity, and when you don't give it to them, they have nowhere to go. Like sometimes, I am in situations where, I can wake up and I can be in a good mood, but the people maybe that I'm waking up with are not in a good mood, or that I'm around, they're not in a good mood. But that doesn't mean that I have to equally not be in a good mood. Instead, if I'm like, good morning, and you like, good morning, and that's on you. Like, I have to go about my day. I cannot intercede for you in that moment and be like, let's be happy, or meet you there and be like, okay, good morning. Instead, just continuously being love and light, because that's the only thing that can withstand against darkness and dark energies and dark forces. Things will change, you understand? That's another thing that I want us to know, that the people that are maybe treating you mean, or the people that are around you that are constantly trying to bring you down, just know that as a man soweth, he will reap, and that karma, what is the law of karma, like what comes around goes around. So it might not be in your space, like there might not be justice won't come necessarily in their face, but just know that it will come. That there were people that I was mean to, like in grade 2, like I said in my previous video, and then in grade 3 I came across a bully, and then she bullied me, you understand? And that was kind of karma coming back at me. So in those situations, you need to know that things will get better, things will change, and what a man sows, he will reap. So it's not for you to go and be like, okay, because this person was being mean to me, I must go be mean to them. No, that's not your portion, and you are not God, you understand? You just have to accept people as they are. If someone wakes up and they're like, I'm gonna be a mean person today, do you, boo-boo, live your best life, live it to the fullest. And don't pay it any mind, you understand? If it doesn't matter, it don't mind, you understand? If it matters, it don't mind. I don't know. If it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. I don't know. Like something like that. If it's not important to your life, it really doesn't matter. Sometimes, this is a big one when you go into the supermarket and you talk to the cashier. And before it was kind of like, hi. And then they'll be like, hello, and you're like, whoa, you got to change up your energy now. But now when I get to them and they're like, hello, I'm like, how are you? You understand? How are you doing? And then they change the energy, because now I'm not feeding into that negativity. Instead, I am planting seeds of positivity. So something has to grow. You understand? And it just changes the energy. You woo-sa the energy. It's really about that. And my last point is, do what you know is right, because there will always be someone doing what they know. Just be positive. So at the end of the day, if you are a person that is good, if you are a person that, chooses to wake up with a smile on your face and say, good morning, good morning, good morning, but you come across people who are like bitter, sour already, they woke up on the left side of the bed and they're just not in a good mood. It doesn't mean you have to change that person's nature. You just have to continuously stay grounded within your own nature and stay true to yourself, because at the end of the day, you cannot control anything outside of yourself, but you can definitely control everything inside of you. And to close off, like a quick story, my mom is kind of like, my mom, she's pretty toxic, you understand? So she'd wake up in the morning very angry, you understand? Or just she just not being in a good spirit. And I remember the last time I went to visit her, she was she was trying to be negative, that old programming. And in that moment, I was just able to see her as a human. Okay, this is her nature. But me getting offended and touched every time she's going to be doing what she's doing is not making me grow or making me go anywhere further. I just have to choose to be the peace person that I am. And that's exactly what I did. And I was able to see that this whole conversation could have escalated into something that it's always been, negative, like me trying to defend. But instead, I was just like, God bless you. You understand? God bless you. And you're like, what do you mean, God bless? Have a lovely day. You understand? It's not my portion to try to fight off every negative attack, but it's my portion to control how I feel and how I respond. So if people are being negative and choosing to excel, treat you in a negative way, just know that that's them doing them. And also, you do not know what's going on in their own life, so you cannot take it personally. in this world you will face trials and tribulations, and not everyone is going to have a good heart and is going to choose peace. And we know negativity is popular in this day and age, but it's for you to choose love and light. It's for you to choose peace. It's for you to just keep your own space clear. And if you can eliminate negative people in your world, then do that. You understand? If you can, limit your contact with people who are toxic, do that. But if it's out of your control, just remember that you control how you respond and how you react. And that doesn't give anyone the right to be negative, but it doesn't also give you the right to respond in negativity, because you gotta be the bigger person. So yeah, that's all Solow has to say for this YouTube video on dealing with negativity. I hope that it has helped you and encouraged you to continuously be the light and love that you are. So wherever you are in the world, I hope that you have a lovely day and that you remember that you are a blessing to yourself and to those around you.